The time has come to do the deed. So let's talk about timing sex if you want to get pregnant. So here we go. Here's the awkward conversation of like, I have to have sex to make a baby. We all know that, and yet we don't like talk about it, right? Which is why so many of us are left in the dark of like, how do I actually do it to make a baby? Because we spend a good part of our lives trying not to make a baby, and then when it's go time, you're like, oh, I didn't get that part. What's the memo on that? So let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Dr. Jolene Brighten. I'm a board-certified naturopathic endocrinologist and a 41-year-old woman trying to make another baby. And I'm bringing you on this journey. The least helpful thing that I hear clinicians say to patients is that if you want to make a baby, just have sex every other day. Well, who does that? Maybe you do that. Good for you if you do. But like, who does that? And also, like, that's not the best way to go about it. You can actually time it so much better. And I don't know about you, but for me, like making a baby, I've had two, and it's never been like a high pressure situation like it is now. So here's the real talk. I'm 41. I don't even know. Can I get pregnant? Is this gonna work? And I also already have a baby, and I have a book coming out, and I have all of these factors that really are kind of like weighing on me mentally. Like, I'm just gonna be honest here. Like, I am having some moments where I'm like, what if it doesn't work? Because like now I'm in like really invested in getting pregnant. And my husband's like, if it doesn't work, we have two great ones. And I'm like, trying, but not helpful, sir, but thank you for trying. So here's the thing, all of that has like made any sexual desire be kaput. I'm like, I am not interested in having sex because it feels like such a high pressure situation. And I've never been there before, but in talking about it, you've probably been there. Somebody watching this has been there. And I know my patients have talked to me about this as well. Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to sexual desire, context matters. And if it's a context of like, this is something you have to do, like it's your job, that makes it less interesting and less sexy. And in addition to that, not all of us have spontaneous desire. And so that is the like, ooh, I'm just looking at you and I'm feeling the things and let's do the thing. Most of us, well, not most of us, about half of us have responsive desire. And that is where like you need to get things going to get things going. And so I want to bring this up because these are things that we don't talk about, but they're important aspects of making a baby. Yes, I'm going to give you the timing. And yet I do want to tell you that like it is normal if you're like, I'm no longer in the mood, because that is one of the things that we can track for like, when are you going to be fertile, but you may not feel in the mood because you're feeling the high pressure of things. And you may also need your partner to bring you along a little bit more. And you may actually need to schedule things. Like, listen, some people need to schedule sex as it is to make sure that they're having the regular frequency that they desire, because it's just the way their life is, and that's normal too. But for you, if you're finding that it's a little more difficult to get in the mood, like that's normal. And so that means that you're gonna have to engage in things that are exciting for you and things that get you in the mood. And you may not even feel that until like the train has already left the station. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you and you're not broken. Now that is the fertility talk. That is the baby making talk that nobody ever seems to have with people. So we wanted to make sure that you had it, because I'm definitely going through it right now myself. Okay, so let's talk about timing. Now, when it comes to timing a baby, unlike what we've been taught in sex ed of like, you can just get pregnant any day of the month, you cannot. You cannot. So here's some basics that you need to understand. Number one is that egg, once it drops, it's only got about 24 hours to get knocked up, and once that's gone, it's gone. So 24 hours is really the life of the egg to get impregnated. Sperm is gonna live about 5 days, but I'm like, when it comes to baby making, give it 3. It's not like I don't think you can go to the distance sperm. I just like am not gonna put all my egg in all that basket over there. So you want to be timing things around ovulation. But how do you even know when that is? Okay, so first thing, you can start tracking your basal body temperature. And what you will see is about a 0.2 degree spike in your body temperature. You have to take that every single morning. If you use something like Natural Cycles or Daisy, that app, that algorithm is going to help you get it dialed in. You can also use a piece of paper and chart it yourself, and that works just fine. But you have to take that temperature at the same time every morning. I wear an Oura ring, and so I love my Oura ring because when that temperature spikes, that egg is going to follow. But basal body temperature, that can take 3 months or more to really master. So if you've got that time, great. If you're like just starting your supplement protocol and all that, like, yes, learn your body. If you're not and you're like, I just need to get pregnant right now, then like, let me help you out with that. Okay, so first thing, you got to know your cycle. Day 1 is the first day that you bleed. You have a flow, you're on your period. Not everybody is going to ovulate on day 14. Shocker. Some people might ovulate on day 10, some might ovulate on day 18. And so if your doctor has told you, oh, just have sex in the middle of your cycle, and you're like, I'm not even tracking my cycle, like when's the middle of my cycle? But also know your ovulation can shift. It's usually in the same like little window of days, but it can shift each cycle as well. We want to be looking for changes in cervical mucus. So if you've ever cracked open an egg, which you probably have, and it's spilled on the counter or something and you try to pick it up, well, you have touched what is the equivalent of cervical fluid. So that is what we're looking for, is that egg white consistency. It is a super highway for sperm. We also often see an uptick in your sexual desire, so your interest to engage in sex. In fact, some studies have shown that women are more into vaginal intercourse as they approach ovulation. So if that's true for you, that may very much be a sign of ovulation. But also know that if you're feeling the pressure of making a baby like I am, that might not even be a thing that's happening in your world right now. Also normal doesn't mean anything about your fertility, okay? So those are some big signs that we want to look for. Another thing that you can employ, which is a lot more accurate than trying to guess if you're new to this, is getting ovulation prediction kits, OPKs, or what are called LH test strips as well. And these are just little tiny sticks, and they will show you when your luteinizing hormone is spiking. So LH, a brain hormone, goes high and it tells the ovaries release an egg. So if you see the LH go up on that strip, you're going to end up ovulating in the next day, possibly 2 days. So next 24 to 48 hours. So when do we have sex? Typically, it's a good idea to have sex about 3 days before you would predict that you're going to ovulate. And if you do the LH test strip, some of my patients, they will see the spike and they will have sex, and then they will have sex the next day to try to catch ovulation. Remember that sperm is going to live about 5 days, but we're going to bank on 3. Now, if you see the LH spike and you want to wait and you want to have sex that evening, you can go ahead and do that and know that that sperm should be available and present for when that egg is released. And that is really the ideal, is to have the sperm there and waiting for the egg, so that when the egg comes out, the sperm can roll up and she can be like, you shall pass, to the sperm that she chooses. So no, having sex every other day, not the way to go about it. But timing it around ovulation with the knowledge of how long does sperm live and knowing how long the egg lives can really help you dial in exactly when to get pregnant. So wish me luck, because we're going to do this thing and hopefully there is a positive pregnancy test. I hope you subscribe and you hang around and find out whether or not I get pregnant.